Hi guys, I'm Tracy. Thank you for joining me today. So today's video is another requested video. I'm going to be going over all of my Chikuhodo brushes, and I decided that I'm going to do like a full face using just my Chikuhodo brushes, and that way you guys can see what I have and how they work, how they perform, and then at the end I'll give my top recommendations. So the first one I'm going to start with is the GSN2. This is considered a powder brush, but I've only used it for foundation. So it really is a treat to put your foundation on with this brush, because it's just so soft. It's kind of airy. I mean, it's firm but airy, and it just feels really nice. One downside is that, like, if you want to get between here, it's just too big to get, you know, between your features and things like that. But I'm going to fix that later with a different brush. So I would say it provides a pretty heavy coverage if you're using a liquid foundation. And it can be a little streaky, but nothing serious. So I'll show you guys how the finish is. So I actually don't see any streaks. I see a little kind of like buildup of like some creasing here, but that's because my skin is dry. It's not because of the brush. So that's the GSN2. Then I'm going to show you guys the Artist 12-2. I forgot to mention, this is in preparation for the VisageUSA sale. It's going on now. The last day is June 6th. So that's mainly why I'm putting this video out there. Like I mentioned in my last video, I don't have a ton of Chikuhodo brushes. I think this is like 8 right here, 7. Anyways, this is not a brand that I have a ton of, but I did want to show you guys what I do have and give my recommendations if you guys are shopping the sale and you're trying to figure out what to get. So this is the Artist 12-2. This is made out of pine squirrel hair. So, you know, you're not supposed to use this for creams and liquids, but that's what I use it for, and I really like how it works for that. It's an eye brush, but I haven't actually tried it for my eyes. I've really only used it for this purpose, and one of the reasons I like it is it gets so close to your lash line, and it's good for doing a eyeshadow primer, which I just use concealer to do that. It's kind of like spackling the concealer on, so it will kind of provide a sort of a heavy application, like a full coverage. But I'm going to show you guys a different one that I have that's a little fluffier, and that is the T6, the Takumi T6, and I really do like this for concealer also. I'll show you how it works for like above the eyes and like areas like that. Because it's fluffy, it's, you know, it's good for like pushing the product in to like lines like this. And it's more comfortable putting eyeshadow primer on with. And then I'm going to use the Z8 with the LYS translucent setting powder. So I'm going to use this for blush later too, but I'll show you how it works for setting powder. This is not going to provide like a heavy application, which makes it good for this area because it won't look heavy under the eyes. I don't usually set my foundation, but I will today just to show you guys how quickly this brush works if you're looking for a setting brush. And then I'm going to bring this out later. Also, just really quick, I already did my brows, but this is the GSN 15. And it's a great brush. It's a great spoolie. I used it today for like soap brows, but it's not necessary. It's nice to have, and I really like this line, the GSN line, you know, the way it looks and everything. And I needed one, so that's why I got this. If you're looking to add, you know, a little bit more to the amount that you're ordering to get to the minimum, you know, that would be a good one to add. I believe it's, I think it's like $15. I'll put all the details in the description below. Okay, and then I have two eye brushes. I don't have a blending brush, but I'll quickly show you how these two work. This is the Artist 6-8. It's a itty bitty horsehair brush, and I use it for just detail work, like lower lash line. You know what, I'm gonna have to use a blending brush. I don't have a Chikuhodo one, so this is the Wayne Goss 19, because this shadow I'm using is so intense, it's just not gonna work with that little small brush. I believe Chikuhodo offers something similar to this, but it's a little bigger. I think it's the GSN 10. It's their goat hair blending brush that I've heard a lot of great things about. So if you're looking for, you know, a solid blending brush from Chikuhodo, that would probably be a good one. I haven't used it, but I just know a lot of people have it and really enjoy it. I'm not going to get too crazy with my eye look, just so I can show you guys all the brushes. Okay, so that's kind of like, you know, gives me a sort of a base, and then I'm going to use this as a packing brush. So I'm using the Pat McGrath Voyeuristic Vixen palette, and I'm going to use this for the shimmers. Alright, I had to take a little break because my battery went out, so I went ahead and I put a little bit more of the shimmer on my eyes, and I did my mascara, and I wanted to show you guys the GSN 9, which is one of my favorite brushes. So put a little bit more of this super glittery shade, and I'll show you how this brush, how wonderfully this brush picks up glitter formulas and shimmers. It really is able to put a large amount of shimmer onto your eyes in a very beautiful way. That's the best way I could explain it. And that's what I use this brush for, pretty much for only that. I got Fallout, but that's the shadow formula, not the brush. So this is my, I would say, one of my favorite packing brushes. And I've tried other similar style brushes and they don't work like this. I normally reach for my Chikuhodo horsehair brushes, which work even more intensely, but This one works in a way that it'll apply your shimmers and you don't have to blend it, if that makes sense. With these, you have to kind of blend the edges, because it will really, right where you put this brush on your eyelid, it will really cover that area. It's kind of hard to explain unless you have these brushes, but this is one I highly recommend. I use this one all the time. All right, and then I am going to show you the Z10, which is their little liner brush, pencil brush. And I'm going to pick up this matte shade. And I really like this for detail work and lower lash line, which is what it's meant for. It's just like, see how quickly that lined my eyes? I hope you guys can see it. It just so like evenly distributes shadow, and then I use it a lot for this little corner. If I want to like give myself like a little wing right here, I use this brush. So I hope that is really a good example of how that brush works. Okay, very last thing, I am going to use the Z8 for powder blush. I'll just try the Suku blush again. You know what? I'm going to try it with the Chanel blush. I haven't used this one for a while. So uh-oh, shedding. It normally doesn't shed, just happened to do it right there. But this is my favorite. I have to say, I think it has taken the place for my favorite blush brush. I still love my Sonia G Soft Cheek, but this brush is very special. I mean, anything from the Z series is going to be amazing. I only have 2 from that series, but the 2 I have are exceptional. Okay, so that's the Z8, and that is a full face almost of my Chikuhodo brushes. So now I'm going to go over the ones that I highly recommend. Alright, so these are my top recommendations if you guys are shopping the VisageUSA sale. I have to put number 1, the Z8. This is just a fabulous brush, and if you get a chance to get a little bit of a discount, this is so worth it. I mean, 25% off if you're, I think it comes out to like $80, which is a really good deal for a quality brush like this. Next, I would say the GSN 9. This to me is a very unique brush, and if you pack shimmers on your eyes, you definitely need this one. If you don't, then you don't. But this is like no other of my packing brushes. There's just something about it that makes your eye look so elegant and seamless. So this one will be my number 2. And this is kind of a tie, but you know, I'm going to say the Takumi, the T6, just because this is not a shape that I see very often, and I do use this every day that I can. If it's dirty like today, maybe not, but it is one of the best for concealing the under eyes, and it gets into areas like this, and it's just a beautiful brush, and I highly recommend this one. And my other Z series brush, the Z10. These are the only Z series I have, but I could just imagine any of the Z series brushes being exceptional. and this one is very special. I have a few other pencil brushes and none of them perform the way this one does. So those are my top recommended brushes. Then other ones that I would get is the GSN2. If you're looking for a really luxurious foundation brush, this is a great one, but you're gonna probably need another foundation brush or kind of finish it off with a sponge, because you might get a little streaking, and you know, getting into areas like this will be difficult with a brush like this. But I really like this line of brushes. They're so luxurious. Something I want to point out is the GSN series handles are very long, so you can see that. They often hit my mirror when I'm doing my makeup, so just putting that out there. But they are very beautiful brushes. I love this coloring with the gold. So I think the GSN line is probably my second favorite that they have. Something that I would definitely at least try one or two brushes from is the Artist series. I have another one that is made of horsehair, but it looks just like this. Actually, I'll pull it out. So from what I can tell, these, you have to get these on VisageUSA. I have seen some of the Artist series on CD Japan, but you know, Beautylish doesn't carry this line. And that's the Artist series. Of these three, I think I like the 6-8. It's a very durable brush. I mean, I wash this and I use it all the time. It's very kind of versatile because it could pack shadows really well and line the lower lash line really well. So I would say behind the four that I mentioned, this one's a really great one. It's not expensive. You know, you might even want to get two because I use this one all the time. It's very easy to clean though if you wanted to just get one and clean it all the time. And then these two, which have the same shape here, I don't think these are necessary. I have this shape from other brands, like this one is Chikuhodo. So they're not terribly unique, but they are very high quality brushes. The reason I got this one is because it's pine squirrel and it's very hard to find this type of hair, but it's not terribly unique in its performance or its shape, and I'm using it for a purpose that it's probably not recommended to do for concealer. But what I really like is the shape. It gets really close to your lash line, and also if you really want to get a heavy, you know, full coverage from your concealer, this is a good one because it kind of like spackles your concealer, as opposed to this one that's kind of going to blend it up and it's going to absorb more of your product. So this is going to provide a lighter application of concealer. But I do use this one all the time. I don't know how long it's going to hold up because I'm washing it all the time. But you know, if you're looking for something different made out of pine squirrel hair, I don't know too much about the hair and how different it is, but it's a lovely brush, and you can get it in this red handle, which I was really hesitant on getting this because it's short and I prefer longer handles, but it is a lot prettier than the black one. It's shiny and you can see the writing a little better. This one you can too, but this is just a prettier brush, and I was very impressed with the way this one looks. But they're the same price, so you can get this one in this shape and you can get this one like this, I think. Pretty sure. But these two I think are nice but not necessary. And then finally the spoolie brush. It's fine, you know, if you want to treat yourself to a nice spoolie brush, but not necessary, not anything that sets it apart from other spoolie brushes that I've used before. So anyway, so that's really all of the Chikuhodo brushes I have. It's not a brand that I have a lot of brushes from, but the ones that I do have are really exceptional. They're beautifully made brushes. I've never had really a shedding problem with any of them. This one kind of in the beginning it did shed quite a bit, but now that I've used it and washed it a lot, it really doesn't. So that does it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you guys in your search for your brushes to order. And if you do order some from the sale, please share your order in the comments below. I love hearing about what you guys bought. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.